Hello guys, and this is a different video, but I'm going to be doing a book review on, show you guys, Five Nights at Freddy's Fazbear Frights Fetch. It's a big book with some mini stories in it, and the mini story today I'll be reviewing is Lonely Freddy, which is the second story. Obviously, spoiler warning in this review. Spoiler warning. And I'll give you 10 seconds to leave the video now. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, now that anybody that doesn't want to hear spoilers is gone, let's get straight into the review. Two things you have to know is the book is called Lonely Freddy, and the main character's name is Alec. So before I get into the actual review, we're going to talk about the plot of the book for a second. Alec, his whole life, has been seen as a bad kid. Ever since his sister Hazel was born, he was a demon in his parents' eyes. In the weeks leading up to her birthday, he overhears his mom and dad talking about a book called The Plan Planner. It's a book about controlling bad children. He goes back to bed, and Hazel brings him the book while his parents are sleeping. They met in their pool and talked about their plan. The book said punish them for every little thing, and eventually they'll change. So Hazel thought that if Alec acted good and Hazel acted bad, their parents would leave him alone. So 3 days of this goes by, and they're on top of the stairs. They hear their parents talking about the party, and for the first time, Alec is enjoying his sister's company. So party planning day arrives. They go to Fazbear's, and Alec finds animatronic named, what? Lonely Freddy. It follows kids around and can learn what they like just by following them around. The day of the party arrives, and Hazel won a toy in the wind tunnel. The specific toy Alec had wanted forever, and Hazel had given it to Alec. The whole week of being bad was just to get Alec to like her. He said, "No, I don't want it," and his parents were mad, but his anger, and he ranted about how fake his sister was and how spoiled she is. Then she stormed out of the room and into the hallway and started to cry. And, yeah. He didn't realize at first, but he quickly realized he felt sad that he hurt Hazel's feelings. He heard a loud banging sound, and investigated a dumpster. Then out popped a Lonely Freddy. He says, "I've been waiting for you, friend." Then Freddy asks, "What is your favorite color?" And Alec answers, "Green." You know, you're normal. You're normal. Get to know somebody questions. But then the questions started to get more personal. What do you fear? What's your biggest regret? Then the thing's eyes turned green, and Alec was on the floor. He decided to go apologize to Hazel, but Alec couldn't get up or even speak. He took 10 deep breaths and started to move his fingers. Then he went out the door of the room, and the door was taller than he remembers, but he opened it and moved on. But at the end of the hallway, the door was so tall he couldn't reach the handle, so he waited for someone to open it. Some kids threw the door open and grabbed him. They were fighting over who could play with him. How was he that small that kids could play tug-of-war with him? Then he went into the party room. He was trapped and landed under a stroller's wheel. And the lady behind the stroller says, "Honey, you can move this thing." Thing? Then he moves on and finally makes it to family. Hazel's smiling, but the reason was because of him. Alec was sitting beside her. Not actually him, but an imposter. Then a kid pukes all over him, and his mother says, "Oh no, sweetie, you got vomit all over the bear." Bear? Then an employee picked him up, and the imposter winked at him as he was being carried away, and he was put into the same garbage bin. and surrounded by other Lonely Freddys. And suddenly he swears he hears himself let out help. That's not him. It's the other Freddys. He's stuck now with his new friends, the Lonely Ones. And that's basically the plot of the book. Basically, obviously, the book's way longer than that, but that's just a quick summary. Now, what I like and dislike about the book. I love the twist at the end, where whoever uses the Lonely Freddys are turned into a Lonely Freddy and replaced by the soul that was kept in the Lonely Freddy. And the Lonely Freddys learn what you like so that they can easily replace you. That is my favorite part of the book, definitely. I can also really relate to Alec in some parts where he's mad that his sister's spoiled and he's not. He's seen as a bad kid. I get that. I can relate in some parts. I loved the twist where I loved where he was walking through the diner. There's obviously more stuff to it though, and like stuff's dripping on him, and he almost dies by a sprinkle of salt, and it's really, really awesome. If I could make an animation just about this book, it'd be an hour long, just of how many things I would add because of my imagination going wild. And I like how creepy, how it starts out like a normal, oh, blah, 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 blah story. Then it gets into the Five Nights at Freddy's aspect and starts to become scarier, you know? I liked how Alec describes the puke in the book. It's like, the puke is all in his hair, and it's chunky, and it's warm, and he describes it being disgusting, and all that. It is really good how descriptive this book is. Now, we'll get into some things that I don't like. One thing I don't like is his parents. His parents deliberately spoil Hazel, and they know this. They're even like, they don't deny it. When Alec is like, why do you spoil her and not me? They don't deny it. They're like, well, maybe if you acted like a good kid, we'd spoil you. What kind of parents is that? They have, again, the Planner. It's a book about controlling bad children. I think that's stupid. There's a twist in the story where he's the reason they're living in that specific town. He wanted to be closer to his aunt because he actually likes his aunt because she understands him. What else? Bad about his parents. He always wanted his birthday at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, but he never got it there because he was seen as a bad kid. Another thing I like, actually, is when he goes into the back room, the atmosphere. This is what I like, actually. This is one of the things I like. How the atmosphere, when he runs out of the party and goes into the back room, the atmosphere, the way it just gets described, is way more ominous, and it's really, really awesome. It's a great book. Another thing I don't like how, like, I could kind of see some of these twists coming. I mean, I could not see the twist about everybody that uses a Lonely Freddy turns into one. I really liked that twist. Also, that's basically the twist that I'd say was the best twist. But actually, when he described himself shrinking, and I thought, oh, he's getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and is soon going to be fading out of existence, so that the imposter can replace him. Now, that's like, because in other books, like, they did, in the first, if you didn't read the first Five Nights at Fazbear's Frights book, all three of the characters that were introduced didn't end well. And even the first book in this Fetch one, even the actual story called Fetch, the story didn't end well. But this one, it ended pretty well. Not for Alec, but it ended well for his family. Basically, everyone around him is fine aside from him, which I think that story ending could have been more gruesome, in that sort of sense. Another thing is, yeah, I could see some of these coming. Now, I'm going to talk about the plot that I think would happen, okay? I thought when I first got into this book, I was like, oh, well, they're going to have a birthday at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, and they sell the Lonely Freddys that walk around and stuff. In this book, there's also no pictures, so you can't really see what they look like, but I'm assuming, like, they're like cold, dead eyes, and then they turn green and turn blue, and, like, the color of their eyes or whatever. What else? Yeah, so the plot that I thought would happen, I thought they'd go to the birthday party and they'd bring home a Lonely Freddy as like a gift or something. And so the Lonely Freddy would start out normal, and then slowly over time, the Lonely Freddy would get more dangerous, and it would start to kill, start to be more ominous and kill, but that didn't happen, obviously. Also, in the book, it said they follow them around, so I thought, and they know where they're gonna go, they know their favorite things to do. I thought it was gonna be they have to try to escape, but the Lonely Freddy's there. Every single corner, every single turn, the Lonely Freddy is there because it knows. But obviously that didn't happen. Now, right now, I'm gonna read you the back of the book. And the main theme of the book is control, which I thought was an amazing theme, really good theme of the book. After years of being kicked around, Greg, Alec, and Oscar, which is the third book, called Out of Stock, which I have not read yet. If I should read it, leave a big fat thumbs up, and maybe I'll do a review on that one. Are ready to take control of their lives. Greg decides to put the controversial science he's been studying to the test. Alec launches a master plot to expose his golden sister for the spoiled brat he knows she is, and Oscar, ever the miniature grown-up his mom needs him to be, decides to take something he wants, even though he knows it's wrong. But these three will learn control is a fragile thing in the sinister world of Five Nights at Freddy's. In this second volume, Five Nights at Freddy's creator, Scott Cawthon, spins 3 sinister novella-length stories from different corners of his series canon, featuring cover art from fan-favorite artist Lady Fizzy. Readers beware, this collection of terrifying tales is enough to unsettle even the most hardened Five Nights at Freddy's fans. Now, the first one, Into the Pit, one of the middle story, To Be Beautiful, that story, it's not in center, damn it, that story gave me nightmares. Seriously, do not read To Be Beautiful if you get scared easily, like I do. Like, that was scary. I was actually legit terrified. Let's take before we end this video, let's take a closer look at. Okay, let's take a closer look at the cover art. Sorry. Oh, oops, hands in the way. So look at that. So we got. This is Fetch, by the way. This is Fetch from the first story. Five Nights at Freddy's, and it's a little elf bookmark that I got for Christmas last year. And yeah, I think that's the end of this video. That's the end of the video, and comment, like, subscribe, leave a huge fat like if you want me to review more books, and